I'm from Tumbador Chocolate. We're in Brooklyn, New York, and we're going to learn how a chocolate factory is run. So making chocolate starts far away from here, with beans and in a plantation, and the quality of the final product will depend on the quality of the beans, the fermentation, the roasting, the grinding, and obviously the quality of the work that we're going to put in. The milk chocolate we receive in a 1,500 pound box that has about 30, 50 pound blocks in it. And the dark chocolate we receive in 25 pound boxes. And then we pick the chocolate that we like. For milk chocolate, most likely we're gonna add dark chocolate to it, or cocoa butter, depending on what we're using it with. We are confectioners, so we're melters, if you want. We're like chefs in a restaurant. We'll take chicken, pair it with vegetables, herbs, or starch. We do the same with chocolate. We're gonna pair it with spices, with fruits, with salt, with nuts, and make it our own in that way. The chocolate is melted overnight in big melters, about 500 to 1,000 pounds of chocolate at a time, and then it gets tempered in the temperer. It's a machine that brings the chocolate down to the working temperature and keeps it at that temperature, and then it gets molded, and it needs to be cooled within 3 to 5 minutes to keep the crystals of cocoa butter and avoid any blooming and change in texture and look. In a manufacturer of our size, the machine is always involved in a way, whether it's the temperer or the enrober that allows us to throw the bonbons through a curtain of chocolate, or you can use molds also, where you're gonna flood the molds and have the shape come out. I would say that the artisan work stops when it's a line that just makes the chocolate and there's no hands involved. Whatever we do, whether it's let's say the marshmallows are piped by hand and then they go through a machine. So there's always machine involved to save labor and obviously price to the end consumer. But if there's no hands from beginning to end, then it's not artisan anymore. So to get your chocolate into any shape, we use molds that are made out of PVC or polycarbonate. They can be, if they're large, we're going to brush it in with large paint brushes, or we're just going to fill the mold with chocolate, wait for a layer of it to set, empty it out, and finish it off on the side in the fridge first to set. There's two different kinds of chocolate. They can be filled, or they can be enrobed or coated. Put it in the chocolate machine that's going to coat it with an even layer of chocolate, or they can be filled, which in this case a mold would come into play, where we first create the shell, then put the filling and close it with more chocolate. Close that shell with more chocolate. It can be brushed on depending on the size again, or usually just you flood the top of the mold and you scrape it off and let it set. When you're a private label like us, people come to you with some kind of idea of what they want, and then it's my job to turn it into a product that can stay on the shelf, that will be well balanced, that will please the customer, and it will also be within the price range what they are looking for. The workload is set up almost on a daily basis to see what orders have to go out this week, or what large orders that are going out for the month. So we start prepping a little bit at the time to get ready for the order to go out. Chocolate is the cheapest luxury you can afford. It's cheaper than wine. It's probably even cheaper than iced tea at the end of the day. It's a tremendous amount of work from the plantation to what we do, but it's a fun business.